Today I'm drawing one of the most iconic structures from the ancient world, Al-Khazna, also known as the Treasury, from Petra, Jordan. Known as the Rose City for its stunning red sandstone cliffs, Petra has fascinated archaeologists, historians, and travelers for centuries. So as I work on this piece using some charcoal, let's dive into the history, mythology, and mystery surrounding the Nabatean kingdom and its masterpiece, Al-Khazna. Petra was the capital city of the Nabatean kingdom, nestled in a narrow valley in southern Jordan. The name Petra comes from the Greek word for rock, fitting since the city is literally carved into sandstone cliffs. The city flourished as a hub of trade connecting Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. Petra wasn't just a city, it was a fortress, a spiritual center, and a marvel of engineering. At its peak, it housed over 30,000 people, and everything, homes, temples, tombs, which were all directly carved into the rock. The Nabateans were originally a nomadic Arab tribe who began settling around Petra in the 4th century BCE. But by the 1st century BCE, they had built a thriving kingdom through commerce, particularly in incense, spices, and silk. Their wealth came from controlling trade routes, and they built incredible infrastructure, rock-cut cisterns, dams, and aqueducts to survive in the harsh desert environment. They were masters of both art and survival. Despite their success, much of the Nabateans remains a mystery, including their language. We know they used a script derived from Aramaic, but much of their written legacy is still undeciphered. Al-Khazna is Petra's crown jewel, standing over 130 feet tall. This monumental tomb was carved from a single cliff face, and despite being more than 2,000 years old, the precision and symmetry are mind-blowing. The name, the Treasury, is actually a misnomer. Bedouins once believed it held hidden riches, perhaps even treasures from the Egyptian pharaohs. They even shot at the urn atop the building to try and break it open. You can still see the bullet marks. Most scholars believe it was a royal tomb, possibly for King Aretas IV, who ruled from 9 BCE to 40 CE. The facade combines classical Hellenistic architecture with local Nabatean flair, Corinthian columns, friezes, and statues that reflect a melting pot of cultures. The design of Al-Khazna isn't just aesthetic, it's symbolic. You'll notice eagles, which represent protection and divinity. At the top is a tholos, a circular building often linked to royal or divine power. There are figures of Amazons with axes, Greek mythological deities, and even Egyptian influences. It's a fusion of East and West, a visual representation of Petra's global connections. Some even theorize that the structure had an astronomical function, aligning with celestial events, similar to the pyramids of Giza or Stonehenge. It's clear that Petra wasn't built at random. Every carving had meaning. And Petra wasn't just grand facades. Behind these walls was a living city, homes, marketplaces, places of worship. But what's most impressive is the hidden engineering. In a place with almost no rainfall, the Nabateans built over 200 cisterns and complex water channels to collect and store rainwater. This allowed them to thrive where others couldn't. Petra was an oasis in the desert. They even developed early pressure pipelines, suggesting advanced hydraulics. Some scholars argue Petra was one of the most environmentally sustainable cities of the ancient world. Eventually, Petra's power faded. After Roman annexation in 106 CE, trade routes shifted. A series of earthquakes damaged much of the city, and by the 7th century, Petra was largely abandoned. For centuries, Petra became a lost city, known only to local Bedouins. In 1812, Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt disguised himself as a Muslim pilgrim and was the first European to rediscover Petra. Since then, Petra has become a UNESCO World Heritage Site and was named one of the new 7 Wonders of the World in 2007. But even today, much of the city remains unexplored. Despite decades of research, we still don't know everything. Who exactly was buried in Al-Khazna? How were such symmetrical structures carved without modern tools? What purpose do the deeper parts of the city serve? Some fringe theories even connect Petra to ancient lost civilizations, from Atlantis to pre-flood cultures with advanced knowledge. While many of these ideas are speculative, they reflect the awe that Petra continues to inspire. As I finish this drawing, I'm reminded that places like Petra, like the pyramids, like Machu Picchu, are more than stone and history. They're evidence of human imagination, creativity, and perseverance. Thanks for spending time with me today, and if you're fascinated by ancient civilizations as I am, subscribe to follow along. New drawings and deep dives every week.